Hello, hello, hello. Hello. All right, Facebook gets mad if you go live late. So hold on 1 second. And all right. So hopefully this worked. Hello. Oh. Hi, Starless Mysteries. Hello. Hi. Welcome to Stories for the Earth episode. No, I'm sorry. Oh my God. The Herbal Book Club. This is episode 34 of our journey through a Weedwife remedy. We are on the chapter The Witch at the Edge of the Woods, Introversion, and Otherness in the Hedgewise. And so if you have the book, that's page 159. So I'm just going to read 2 definitions to start off with. So one is for introvert. This is from the Oxford English Dictionary, I believe. Actually, I don't know what dictionary this is from. Haha! Let's see. Anyway, that I thought I did. So that is Merriam-Webster here. All right. So it means one whose personality is characterized by introversion. That's not very helpful. Let's do the Google one. I'm pretty sure this is the Oxford English Dictionary. Okay. Noun, shy, reclusant person predominantly concerned with their own thoughts and feelings rather than with external things. So that is just a basic definition of introvert. And we're going to go to extrovert. I'm going to read that. I mean, everyone pretty much knows what they mean. So an outgoing, overly expressive person relating to denoting or typical of an extrovert. Other words are like outgoing, sociable, socializer. Okay. So my question to everyone is, do you feel like you are more extroverted or more introverted? And then how do you feel about that? Would you like to be more than one or more than the other? Do you feel like being one is better than the other? I usually have my phone here to give me a little light. As I read. So we're going to have to rig up something else. Totally introverted. Is this yeah. I feel like for me it's like a combo depending on like the situation. Sometimes I can be more extroverting and sometimes I can be more introverting. But, okay, this is not quite. I'm trying to like rig up this light thing. Okay. It's been one of those days. I'm gonna have to go get my phone. So I can figure out a way to get this happen. It's like a bendy thing. That's too close. Too close. Which is fun, but okay. I think I got it. I feel like it doesn't matter. It's what you feel most comfortable with. Just be yourself, and all people complement each other. We need both kinds of people. We do. We do. I agree with that. Definitely, I feel like our society at large values extroverted people more than introverted people. But I agree with you. I agree that one is not necessarily better than the other. I think I'm more introverted, except if you put like a camera on me. And it also depends if I feel comfortable, then I come out more extroverted. So if I feel uncomfortable, I'm going to be less chatty, less talkative, less, stuff like that. Because I guess it's a protection. All right. So, well, thank you for your thoughts on that. And if anyone's watching in the replay, and you want to continue this discussion in the comments, please feel free. So, and this is a quote. Start with a quote on page 159. I do not want to be human. I want to be myself. They think I'm a lion, that I will chase them. I will not deny that I have lions in me. I am the monster in the woods. I have wonders in my house of sugar. I have parts of myself I do not yet understand. This is by Ket Valentine from Silently and Very Fast, which I don't know what that is. It's a book. I'm actually going to look that up right now just because I am curious for our education. Oh, look, it's a book. Maybe not. It came up. Books. Yeah. So it's a fantasy book. I'm just gonna share the Amazon link. But you could probably find this other places. So, if you don't want to understand about the old Amazon. So that is where this quote is from. And it's silently and very fast is the book. So move this down a little bit. Okay. Lost in the forest, you happen upon a small woman gathering mealy brown mushrooms from a decaying tree stump. At first, you feel relieved to find another human after hours of wandering desperately in search of civilization. Hi, Heather! Welcome! How are you today? Did you ever find your book? I hope so. We were on page 159 if you had found it. You suppose she might be a traveler like yourself, forced to subsist on woodland fare while waiting for help to arrive. Oh, you did! Good. That is, until you notice the knife in her belt with its bone handle, until you see the callous soles of her bare feet as she reaches up for a swath of lichen hanging from a high tree branch, until you hear her speak soft, rhythmic words to a tiny chattering mammal perched on her shoulder. If she is lost here, it has been many long years since she first walked off the known trail from the nearest village. This gives you pause as you wonder what you have stumbled into, and puzzled over what kind of creature might choose to live so far from the general population, and prefer the company of wild animals and weeds to those of her own land. So, Heather, we were talking about introverts and extroverts, and we were just asking who felt they were more of an introvert and who felt they were more of an extrovert. Because we're going to be talking about that, and at least in this first part of the book, of the chapter, yes. And then whether, like, you thought that it was what did you think about, in general, the idea of being introverted or extroverted versus extroverted? In fairy tales and folklore, very often the protagonist is notably social and is part of a specific fellowship, community, or group. On the other hand, the antagonists are often solitary and live away from others, most frequently deep in the wilderness or a vast wasteland. If you meet a woman living alone in the forest, you could not be blamed for assuming she's a hermit, a monster, a hag, a witch of unknown intentions, no matter how attractive, kind, or wise she might appear. In modern-day Disney interpretations of the bad guys, it is even sometimes said that they are evil because they are lonely, and that if only they could be part of a larger community, they would blossom and into benevolent and beautiful creatures who hold hands and burst with symphonic village-wide song. In all cases, otherness and potential malevolence is frequently implied by a character being solitary. Introvert, yeah. So, what do you think this means? Like, if all the good people are portrayed as extroverts, and all the bad people, quote, 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 are portrayed as introverts, what kind of message does this send? I mean, I think this is not, it's very obvious, and I feel like, you know, what do you guys think? And what reason would, like, if in fact, you know, it's saying that it's not good to be introverted, which it seems like it's saying, what reason do you think, like, society might benefit? Like what benefit would it give to, imply so much that being part of the group is good and being maybe a separate is not? It means we are misunderstood. Oh, yes, definitely. Right. Because like not only does a lot of cultures, it sounds like, or at least here, I can speak for the United States, there's more value placed on being extroverted, and if you're quiet, you're considered just weird. And I've definitely had a lot of experiences in my life because I come out as quiet, but I'm not. So yeah, in general, people don't like people who are. Is that alien? Aren't regular or considered regular, right? Like this is all about what's considered normal too. Like, there are exceptions to this, with a number of helpful fae or fairly benign monsters also living alone, but they are rarely found at the center of the story and tend to still be viewed with some trepidation and wariness. After all, what good person would actually choose to be alone? I think there's plenty of people that would, I mean, if you are alone and you want to be with people, that's fine. If you're alone and you're happy about that, then that's fine too, I feel like it could have stemmed from a time when humans benefited from being in a group from survival standpoint, and then it's just sort of trickled down where like it's not so important for us to be social. And in fact, like it's really weird because right now it seems like we are just social, but not face to face. So it's like you have to be social online, but you're even less social face to face because it's like you see those kids sitting at the maybe not since the pandemic, but like all the people sitting at the same table and they're not talking and they're typing on their phones. I don't use the normal word to describe people. That's what Heather says. Right. Yes. Good idea. Yes, because that is saying that there is a opposite and abnormal, right? People are just people. I think it's just the opposite. Bad people are usually so up in your face, but there are also sneaky, quiet, bad people. Yeah, so it just depends. Like it has nothing to do with whether you consider yourself an introvert or extrovert, or whether the society as a whole considers you that. Like, yes, there are people, and it has nothing to do with whether you're a good or bad person, quote, yeah. Maybe they're thinking we're hiding something. It's possible, yeah. I've had like some weird social work stuff where I feel like they just don't trust me because there's a lot of other stuff going on, but yeah, I've had some. You have agoraphobia. Yes. So will you tell us what that? Will you share what that means again? I think is it crowds? Great. So yeah, there's definitely. Yeah, I got it. So that is open spaces. No, I'm not getting I feel like I'm not getting good definitions from Google. You never leave your property. I mean, in that, right, and people don't understand, right? Starless Mystery, they don't understand why you're like this, and then they if they did understand, and it would be different. And I don't know if that's a failure of like our society for not like teaching people like to think a different way. I am solitary because I am not a people person. Yeah. I mean, people's are hard. You're definitely a cat person, Heather. So. Yeah. I mean, for work, I have to be more social. Although right now, I work at a job that allows me to be sort of like, I don't work in retail anymore, so it's a little easier. So it's sort of like I'm social, but I'm less. Have to be less out there. Fear of leaving your home. My mom had to go. Okay. Thank you, Heather. Yeah. You have horrible panic attacks. I'm sorry, Starless Mystery. Yeah. It's that can be really difficult. Although it is a little easier now that you can get everything delivered, but on that note, less having to go to the grocery store. Of course, it depends on where you live, but still, yes, I can't leave my property in my yard. Wow. Heather says, I am very sociable. I talk to myself all the time. Me too, Heather. I definitely talk to myself all the time. And the cat. Well, I'm glad you can join us on the internet, Starless Mystery, and I think that the internet can be really good. So it's got a really lot of good pluses, and it can take you places without having you to leave your house or your yard, and and possibly be helpful. And I don't know. So anyway, yes. We try to make this chat as safe as possible. So safe space. We often dive into very personal subjects. All right, so still on page 60 at the bottom. It's common for folks to say they need solitary time, but most people who say they want solitude often mean only for a few hours at a time before they once again seek human company. Hosting remote retreat guests here in this New Mexico wilderness, I see how even those expressing a desire to spend time alone really have a hard time being by themselves in the woods. I admit that I find this both fascinating and foreign, as I voluntarily spent long periods of time without human contact since I was in my early teens. I don't see that solitude is better than most social tendencies, as both are needed and natural. I do, however, notice that there tends to be a great deal of pressure placed on the less social to behave in an essentially extroverted way. Society at large from psychiatrists to the media to the average mother seem notably concerned when someone chooses a more solitary existence, and these people are often viewed with suspicion, which is what we're talking about, simply if they don't make obligatory appearances at community events or engage in chit-chat while standing in line at the bank. To keep to oneself is very often to invite labels such as eccentric at best and sociopath at worst. I talk to my cats, my dog, and the birds, insects, and plants. Oh, okay, I read it as cats anyway. Because my brain fills in the gaps. Sometimes for the good, sometimes yeah. Heather says, I have anxiety around the phone, answering and making calls. My neighbor must laugh at me having my conversations with my cats. Yeah. All the best people do talk to nature. That's right. Oh, I think it's important. And I think that a larger conversation is our disconnect from nature and from the world around us. And I think this is part of the issues, that nature is bad, and talking to nature is bad, and you better, be social. You better go to that party instead of staying home and talking to your cats and being comfy and reading or something, or taking a walk outside. I went outside yesterday, even for 30 minutes, and it was a much needed, even though I'm very exhausted. My job has me not outside as much as I would like, or even have as much downtime as I'd like, so it's difficult. In my years of teaching, I have noticed that there's a significant percentage of herbalists who feel much more at home with plants than people. So I just want to say too that through this journey of being on the internet and talking to herbalists with the Stories for the Earth project, I think that for a lot of them that I was interviewing, I think it's sort of maybe I don't know about their first, but it might be their second or third step into sort of a more technology based. I don't know what I'm trying to say. My brain has just died. But I do feel and I'm very appreciative to a lot of them, because I think some of them are less comfortable with chatting alive to everybody on the internet than maybe they would be, and that's what I was going to say. Yes. Some of them work in the capacity of a clinician, simply because it feels like the reasonable expression of their obsession with plants and a way of utilizing their growing knowledge while developing new skills. Most often, these herbalists do care a great deal about the well-being of others, but find frequent social interactions to be draining or difficult. I hear the guilt in their voices and the fragility in the tone of their emails. They think they are bad to not crave the company of others. They believe they must need a special flower essence because they don't relate to humans as a whole. There's nothing wrong with being an introvert. There's nothing wrong with not fitting in. You are not required to spend all of your time shoulder to shoulder with other humans in order to be an effective herbalist. It only becomes a problem when we struggle to accept our own otherness and introversion, and are thus unable to form our practice and our lives in a way that nurtures us and allows us to be ourselves. That last sentence is important, and I think even if you are more extroverted, you can struggle to accept yourself and make a life that is the best for you. I think that's really difficult. I definitely would want more time outside. I like being sociable, but like I was saying in the beginning, but also like I need a lot of time, a lot of downtime. So I think I'm sort of like a middle, but often taken as more quiet and more introverted because of just my personality. All right. So for everyone who has joined us, we are on page 161 if you have the book at the bottom. The term community herbalist brings to mind, quite reasonably, a healer working within a community, serving and at home within a group of other human beings. And yet, historically, herbalists have been marginalized. They have frequently walked the borderlands of the village and the wild wood, traveling between the civilized and the wild as emissaries of the forest, bringing healing to the townsfolk. You can say it was because they had no choice, that they were driven from their communities by religious zealots or opportunistic politics. And certainly that would be true, but only in part. The larger truth is that many of us who have the gift for working with plants also have great difficulty belonging among other humans. So I think, and I don't really know the historical context of this, but it seems like that we have kind of othered the plants. And so by extension, we other the people working with the plants. I get tremendous amount of pleasure from friends to go out. Oh, pressure, sorry. See, my brain. Yeah, and that can be very difficult, Starless Mystery, you know? Yeah. Yeah. Because you have to constantly turn them down. And, it would be, unfortunately, I wish I was a cat. Me too. Many times. I think it would be so much easier. A well cared for cat. I feel like for me, I would like my friends to meet me where I am. And my good friend, we were having a conversation, and she's like, I think she's like me, but she was talking about her friends saying that, like, oh, we never see you, blah blah blah, like. And I was like, well, I never have that problem. And she's like, but you come to me. And I was like, oh, yeah. She has a shop. She's a supplement shop. And, and I'm like, yeah, I come to your shop and we chat and we hang out, So in effect, I'm sort of meeting her where she is. And I'm just going, And it just happens to be the best place for us to meet because, you know, of course, my apartment's really, really small, and you know, and then our work schedule. But so but I think some of her other friends, either they're unable to do that or they just don't understand, because I know that, like, when I wasn't able to meet her at her shop with the pandemic, I was experiencing some of that. You know, it was sort of a pulling to get her, you know, even for like a face, you know, a computer chat and stuff like that. So yes, but we're going to start now. Too much Tulsi tea gets my brain fizzled out. So it's not only like understanding your friend, it's also like understanding, oh, well, I need to meet them here so that we can, you know, the needs of the friendship, and hopefully they would do the same for you. And but sometimes they don't understand, and you get that pressure to go out, and or you get other things. And so yeah, my friend Susan is always wanting to go to antique stores and running around. I try to be open to it, but I hate running around in antique stores. Oh, Heather. So have you gone a few times, I guess? You're like, okay, maybe I'll try. I understand that. Like, my mom, she loves shopping, and I hate shopping. Like, she loves clothes shopping. She loves like going to the stores and like buying stuff shopping and stuff like that. And but I'm like slowly warming up, and slowly, I feel like I'm getting into it more, but I have to go with her, right? Like, you're such a party pooper. No, you're not. You're just a different party. It's just a different party, right? Like, yeah. You know, like a party for you is perhaps maybe going to get coffee or going to hang out with your cats in your garden. It's just a different party. So, I mean, but I feel like my mom's enthusiasm has sort of starting to rub off, but I can only go with her. But I won't go by myself, you know. Well, especially like we cannot fit one more thing in this very tiny apartment. So, you know, but anyway, just be like, come hang out with me and my cats after the pandemic. Yes, cats in my garden. I know, I would love that. I would love that. A whole bunch of cats running around in the garden. That's my kind of party. Herbalists from any number of traditions can be found debating the details of the current most popular constitutional theories. So you'd think we'd be experts at understanding the difference between us, and yet many herbalists still seem to feel inadequate for their very natures. Part of the issue lies in the expectation that a healer be kind, welcoming person, anxious to help and serve everyone around them, while also serving as a social hub for those in need. There are certainly many wonderful herbalists who do so admirably and thrive within the embrace of close-knit community. Still others avoid large groups but feel comfortable with smaller groups or one-on-one. These people can often find a way of customizing their practices so that they meet their own needs for time alone while still having an active place in the larger community. It's good mom time when you get the opportunity. It is, yes. Yeah, I agree, and you know, my mom loves it so much. When I was in Texas with them, I sort of hung out with them and did what they did, and you know, really sort of got into that groove. Not that they spend a lot of money, but, you know, it was fun. Just sort of just seeing a different way of looking at things, I guess. What part of the country do you live in, Starless? Oh. That's for Starless, not me. Often, others of us remain in the dark forest, while preferring the company of ravens and nightshade to that of our fellow furless humans. So I think this is definitely going to be a two-parter. I think she's still with us. I think, yes, this is going to be a two-parter. We're going to pick up. Let's see. So it would be the 12th of March. Yes, Heather's in Tennessee and I'm in Western North Carolina. So I think we're about, me and Heather, about 5 hours from each other. Too far. Or longer. I don't know. So, right. We're going to pick up on 163 on the 12th of March. And we're going to do In the Dark Forest, the Witch as Herbalist Archetype. So that should be really good. And it starts out with another quote by Kat Valentine from, I guess, her book In the Night Garden. So, yeah. All right. So, since we are almost done. I mean, we're probably like 2 months away. Texas. I seem to remember that because my parents are in Texas. Yes. Did you? Hopefully you were okay with the last snowstorm and everything. Oh, you have that book, Heather. Okay. Cool. I do not have that book. Let me see. Let's look that up. My garden. Books. Huh. Weird. I don't think it's on. Okay. This is weird. There we go. It's like there's a lot of stuff. Oh, wait. Okay. I found it. It's The Orphan's Tale in the Night Garden. That's what it is. So this. What? You okay from the storm? Yes, I had no power and water for 4 days. Oh, shoot! Slept in my tent by my fire pit. Wow. That's intense. Back to normal. Yes, I hope it is too. My parents are okay, although they lost Tower. So this is the book, The Orphan's Tale in the Night Garden. And that is what the quote for next time is going to be from. Like that she brings in these, yes, power and water stored here, but many still don't. Well, I'm glad you do. I mean, it's upsetting that other people do not, but I'm glad at least that you have that, and it's one of the reasons why we would love to get a house. We're looking for a house, which is drama, but with a working sort of fireplace or a wood stove, just in case. I'm very prepared for anything. Well, that's good. I'm glad. Well, we're glad you're. Oh, obviously, I guess you have power since you're on the internet. Ha 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 ha. Yeah. Ooh, crazy stuff. Crazy stuff. All right, everyone. So I hope you have a lovely 2 weeks. And please be thinking about our next book, because we are almost finished. I mean, we probably have like 2 months because, we had to slow down on our sessions and everything due to my work schedule. But yes, so you can put a suggestion in the comments of this video. You can pop a suggestion up in the Facebook group. At some point, I'll be calling for, people to put up suggestions, and we'll figure out how we're going to do that, whether we're going to do a poll or a drawing. I think maybe a poll. And just remember, we will be with the book that we pick for probably a year, because of just the nature of our slow book club, and everything. So yes, so I'll see you guys next time. And yes, on the 8th of March, yes, which is a Monday, we will be having a live herbal book discussion, and I'm going to be, it'll be on this channel, and it'll be on the Stories for the Earth YouTube channel, and on the Stories for the Earth YouTube Facebook group. So we'll be live doing that. So if you're interested, it'll be at 12 p.m. Eastern Time, and we'll be chatting about herbal books. So yes, everyone have a good 2 weeks. Stay warm. And it's going to be like 70 tomorrow for here. We're getting our summer preview, and all the plants are starting to bud and everything. So spring is really close. So, all right, guys, I'll talk to you later. Bye. Heather says I'm trying to get prepared. I know. I'm never prepared. It's like too fast. Always. But okay. Bye.